Okay, fine. Okay, so today let us see how to give set permissions to various objects in catalog based on the application rules. Okay, set permissions for objects.
Sir, can you please mute us?
Sure. So we will see how to set permissions for objects. Then we will see next topic. Yeah. So working with favorites and how to use our set operators. Then we will see next topic today would be set operators, and after that executing a direct database request. These are like basic minor topics. Okay, so yeah, these are not many topics, these are minor topics, you need not to worry much. Okay, so I'll just give you a basic idea of all this. Okay, so these are like additional functionalities, you generally don't use them much, but like additional functionalities. Okay, all this will be helpful if you can use them. Okay, so direct database request, and after that we'll go yeah, setting display of columns added in the criteria tab. Generally you don't change all these parameters, but you can have a look. Okay, setting display of columns in criteria tab. Okay, like this. So we'll just look, we'll have a basic overview of all these topics, and somewhere if you feel uncomfortable, just ping me. Okay, so for this, let us start with setting permissions for objects of various objects in our presentation catalog, not in the RPD. In the presentation catalog, when I say catalog, this is purely for catalog objects which are present in your application. So for this, we have one more test user called bberry. Okay, and his password is like bberry12. I don't remember his password. Let me take out his password. Okay, let me take out his password, and you can observe how his application roles are being defined and how he will have his permissions. So how to look into application roles? Go to my account. There is something called roles and catalog groups. Here you can see that this author is a BI author and BI consumer. We have given him BI author role. By default, even BI consumer permissions or privileges also he will be having it. Okay. Now just observe a basic difference. Do you see anything called administration here? No. This clearly says if a particular user is a BI author user, not a BI administrator, that means they won't be having any administration link. And just click on this new, he has all the create privileges. He is a BI author. He can create an analysis, he can create a dashboard or a dashboard prompt or a report or an agent or an action, all these things. Because he is having author privilege, BI author privilege. Okay. Then just look into my folders. We created a folder called my sales, right, under my folders of WebLogic user. So is that folder available here under my folders? that folder won't be available because my sales folder, which is created under my folders of WebLogic user, is private to that user. Anything which is created under my folders is private with respect to a particular user. It is not accessible by any other users. If you want to have a shared content for various users, the content should be shared under shared folders. Okay, in a particular folder, share it everywhere. All the BI consumers can view it. Okay, now just sign out of this application. Just observe our administration link. So here I have analysis dashboard, all those things which is been which are similar with respect to your BI author role. The additional things are you have administration, you have manage permissions, all those you can do anything with respect to administration, you can do it here. And you can observe his roles clearly. BI administrator is present here because this user is part of the application role BI administrator, which is the highest privilege that can be given to anyone in OBIEE. Okay, not many users will have, only 1 or 2 administrators will be given this role. Okay, everyone developer will have BI author roles. All the users will be mostly BI consumers. We don't give them until and otherwise client request for administrator role. We really don't give anyone this role. Okay, fine. Now let me just copy a content from my folders to shared folders and just observe if the same content can be viewed by BI consumer role, which is like bberry user. For this, what I will do, take any of the analysis or report that we have created from my folders to shared folders under WebLogic. Already WebLogic I have created multiple analysis. Okay, so what I can do, copy one more thing like my sales. Okay, let me copy this bin product type. So how to copy this? Just select this. You have a copy option here. Otherwise, more, you have copy option here. Okay, so do anything. Otherwise, archive and unarchive also will help you. Anything. There are a lot of ways for copying the objects. Copy it. Go to WebLogic. I don't have any bin product type here. Just paste that here. And you can see your bin product type is been pasted here. Just click on more permissions. So as soon as I do this, your BI consumer role has given a custom read and execute access. Just observe the same privilege for bin product type in your my folder. My sales bin product type. Okay. Okay, here also BI consumer role I have read and execute access. Authenticated user, WebLogic user, administrator role. Even though your BI consumer role has this read and execute access, it still cannot see the content under my folder because anything you give under my folder cannot be viewed by other user. Now the same permission has been carried out. Okay, now look at observe at any other thing. By default it is giving for BI consumer, it is adding up, no issues. Okay, now just sign out of this application, log in back as bberry. Go to catalog. I saved it under WebLogic. Just go to WebLogic. So do we have bin product type here? Do you have bin product type? And you can see the date last modified 7/9/2015, that is today's date. 7:56 a.m. just a moment back, a few seconds back. Okay, this has been modified. This has been copied from my folders to shared folders. That is the reason your bberry can view this content. Just click on edit. Okay, so he even has edit privilege. Okay, so you can even change because he is a BI author, right? So when we go to catalog, you can even look at, see, can you set a permission of this object here? Permission is disabled. So only administrators can define privileges with respect to few objects. Okay, sign out of this. Click here. WebLogic. Go to catalog, shared folders, WebLogic expanded. Just look at the permissions here. Yeah, your permission tab will be enabled. BI consumer role, you have read and execute. Okay, so BI author role will have, by default will have write access, and BI consumer already has read and execute access. That is the reason it is been displayed for the role. Now I'll just give no access here. Okay, sign out of this. Login back as bberry. So do you see bind product type here? Do you see it anywhere here? No. Reason being, I explicitly made BI consumer role for the object as no access. Since this user belongs to those roles, he is unable to see it. Sign out of this. Sign in back as WebLogic. Now go to catalog. For bind product type, change the permission. Add one more role. I want to add BI author role. He is a BI author also. Okay. Set permission. Set permission as modify. Just click OK. So modify will give you read, write, traverse and all this. No access to the root. Click to add the traverse permission upstream. So just click this. So this BI author role don't have access to your root. That means WebLogic folder. So I am just selecting that. Okay. So without having access to the root folder, here you cannot even see it. Just otherwise just remove it. Just click OK. Sign out of this. Click here back. Login as bberry. We will observe the changes. Go to catalog. So is able to see bind product type. So when I open, he can still see it because now he has two application roles. One is a BI administrator role. One more is BI consumer role. Still BI consumer role has permission to the top folder. That is the reason you are still able to see WebLogic folder. Otherwise, you cannot even look into WebLogic folder. And now your application role has a conflicting permission for the same object. Bind product type. For BI consumer role, you are giving no access. For BI author application role, you are giving modify access. So which should be taken over? The same thing in RPD also I told you. Anything with respect to conflicting permissions in OBIEE, maybe in RPD, maybe in WebCat, when it comes to with respect to an object, the least restrictive permission on the object will be preceded over the most restrictive one. When I say least restrictive one, obviously the thing which has access. When I say most restrictive, no access. So the least restrictive will be preceded over by the most restrictive one. Okay, like that. Sign out. sign in back as WebLogic and welcome one, and just revert back the permissions that are given to the object. So this is how you can set a permission with respect to a folder or with respect to object or anything. You can delete it. And with respect to BI consumer role, I want to just give custom access, which is, see, when I give custom, just observe, I can set different types of permissions: read, execute, write, delete, change permission, run publisher, scheduler, schedule, view, all this. So I am giving read and execute access to this BI consumer role. Click OK. Click OK. So, and one more thing, for BI author role also give the same thing. Sign out and sign in back as your BBerry. Go to catalog, go to bind product type. So by default, you are still able to edit your report because he has modified privilege for all the objects, any report or dashboard, because he is a BI author. Okay. Set back the permissions, just delete it, click OK, and this is fine. Okay, so this is how you can set permissions with respect to a particular object in your OBIEE with respect to a web catalog object. So this is for catalog objects. For RPD objects, you already saw it, like pulling out a customer table, giving no access or default access or a read access or a write access. So in the new analysis tab under subject areas, if you don't want to give access to a particular presentation table to a particular set of roles, you can do that from manage identity tab under RPD. But here, with respect to UI, you have to go to catalog. For the catalog objects, you can manually give the permissions. So I have 3 folders under WebLogic. So all the 3 folders, when I look for permissions for BI consumer role, it has read and traverse access. So by default, all 3 folders can be viewed by all the users who belongs to BI consumer role. Okay, like that. Now let us see how to work with favorites. Okay, so this is how you just define your object permissions. If you have any questions, just ask me now. Okay, if you have any concerns or questions. Okay, if no questions, then I'll move with favorites. So what is a favorite? Like, even in your browser, you have a button called as favorites. So this will add under favorites, and you can look at them as a bookmark. Okay, so you are not naming this bookmark and you are just saving it. So when you make this item as a favorite, so you can remove this from bookmark, or you can just give sample sales RKBI catalog, and if you click on done, what happens? This URL will be saved as a favorite under your browser. So this is with respect to a normal Windows browser, normal browsers. But if you want the same favorite icon, suppose say daily you will be looking at a particular dashboard, or maybe with respect to a particular report, and you want a faster access, you don't want to go to dashboard and go to that report, or go to home page, or go to catalog, navigate to that and look into it. You can add that particular report or a dashboard as a favorite to your favorite icon. So under favorites, as of now, nothing, I don't have anything. Now let us try to add something under favorites. Suppose go to my folders, my sales, I want customer West Region 1999 as a favorite. So on the left hand side, do you see an option here called add to favorites, or click on more you have something called add to favorites. So just click on this. As soon as you do that, a golden star icon is appeared on that analysis or report. See here, a golden star icon on the top. That means this item is being present in your favorites. Now just click on your favorites. You can see customer sales Vestigian 1999. And like this, you cannot multiply items. Like suppose say I want customer Vestigian also. Add to favorites. So this is also added. I want customer East region also. Add to favorites. This also is added. So like this, I am adding everything, and you can manage your favorites. Like suppose say I am creating one category for my sales like West. Favorites as West, and what I am doing, all the West region related things, I am pulling it under West. Just drag and drop to them, it goes to West. Create one more category as East. Click on OK. Drag and drop your East report on that. So just click OK. What happens under favorites now? Instead of your reports, it has West. So click on West. You have your customers West region. So it will directly take you to the customer West region 1999. Favorites. If you want East, you can go for this. Okay. And go to catalog. Suppose say you want my dashboard. So this means you cannot add a dashboard as a favorite. Okay. But you can add a particular page, a dashboard page as a favorite. Okay. So customer Vestigian dashboard page I want as a favorite. So add to favorites. So this is present under separately my dashboard customer Vestigian. So click on this. This you will go to my dashboard customer Vestigian automatically. This will take you to dashboard pages also. You can name them as manage favorites, create one more category, you can name anything, my favorite pages. Okay, just click OK. So under my favorite pages, you can have n number of dashboard pages. This is taking here. Under West you have something. This is taking you to your report like this. Fine. So this is how you manage your favorites. Yeah, dashboard page, dashboard prompt, report, analysis, anything. The way to add is add to favorites. Select that. Suppose say you want test page. So give add to favorites. That's it. This will be added. Look into this. Look into favorites, and you can my dashboard test page is present under favorites. So this is how your test page is present. Okay. Just go to favorites. Remove from favorites. Manage favorites. I don't want any of the categories. So just delete them. Now you will not have any favorites now. Everything is gone. Go to catalog and just observe your previous thing. My sales customer Vestigian 99. Your star mark and this is gone. That means this is removed from your favorites. This is no longer present under your favorites. So like this, it is up to you. If you want favorites, you add them. If you don't want them, leave it like that. Favorite is just giving up quicker access to your catalog object. Okay, like this. Now let us look into set operators. So generally, very rarely we use set operators, but this has very good usage. Why set operator is used generally, and what are set operators? We have few functions, right? We have union, we have union all, we have intersection, and what else we have? Minus. So set operators have certain rules. Minimum it should have 2 result sets. First criteria, because set operators cannot be only done on a single set. When I say single set, single criteria, I should have 2 different criteria. The data types of the columns corresponding present in a particular position should match. Means If position 1 is a varchar, position 2 should be a, and in the second criteria also position 1 should be a varchar, right? Set 1, when I say union set 2, so if I have set 1, I pulled column 1, column 2, column 3, which is of type varchar, date, and this is a number. Similarly, when I give union set 2, my set 2 also should have same number of columns. That is mandatory. I cannot have more columns. Column 2, tab, column 3. This should be a varchar. This should be a date. This should be a number. This is mandatory. So the number of columns should match and the data type for each column present at a particular position should match. Okay, this is what my set operator is. Just let us see how to work with set operators. So for that you have to go to new analysis, pick up any subject area. Generally you will have in real time 5 to 10 subject areas, anything. You can use your set operators for two different sets from two different subject areas. You are not joining them, right? You are only displaying them in a single report. Remember that. So your union operator picks up all the records and just displays them as a combination combined into one report. Your set 1 comes with a different select query. Your set 2 can come with a different select query, but still you can display them however you want. Now let me pull out here customer customer information and fact sales dollar information. Let me pull out two columns as of now, and I'm making criteria and dollars. Dollars is between 5,000 and 10,000. Click OK. Click on results. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people with dollars between 5,000 and 10,000. Remember this. Now how to make your set operators work? Here in criteria you have a small icon, combine results based on union, intersection and different operations. So this is your set operator, and you have two circles with plus icon. Like you can add this set operator. Just click on this. As soon as you click on this, it will give you scope for various subject areas. I want, again I will make on supplier sales itself. What I can do, again pull out customer. So just how set operators work I am showing you here. This is not the real exact scenario, okay? So dollars. For my second one I will make one more criteria. For my first criteria what I did, dollars between 5,000 and 10,000. For this what I will do, dollars less than 5,000. So click on results now and check the operator. It will be union by default. Click on results, and now how many people you have? Just click on your table view. So you have one. Before I had 5, between 5,000 and 10,000. Now less than 5,000, how many I have? I have the remaining people 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 24 people I have. Total 24 customers are there for both the criterias. 5 customers for between 5,000 to 10,000, and less than 5,000 you have 19 customers. Okay. Now go to criteria. Make one more set operator on supplier sales. Go to customer, fact sales, dollars. Make one more criteria, dollars, filter is between 9,000, or you can take 8,000 and 10,000. Sorry, 12,000. You can take 12,000. Click OK. Click on results. You have more than 25 now. So you have 28 records. So with union, you have 28. Just observe the change. I am making it as union all. Just click on results. Before I had 28. Now I have 29. So which is the customer which is getting repeated? Can you tell me? Can you just have a look here? There should be a particular value which is repeated. Vidalia restaurant, Vivaldi restaurant. What is this? Okay. So with union operator, I get 28. With union all, I get 29. So which is that which is getting repeated? I am not seeing that. So then we will do one thing. So how to get that which is getting repeated? So anyhow, the second value will not be there. So just cut this off. Just click on results. Now this will have few values. This is union or union or union. So what you are doing union, first criteria is less than 5,000 or less than 5,000 I kept. Don't take this cut off. So column should be matching and all those are same. Between 5,000 and 10,000, and this take between is between what we took 8,000 and 12,000. And there should be a value which is repeated here. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and there should be a value which is repeated. Union all will, what does it give you? Purely it like paste. Set 1 it pastes off, set 2 it pastes off. Even if there is any duplicate like set 1 also, if I have a record like customer, a particular customer name McD 1000, and even in the set 2 if it is coming, like I can have, right, first criteria what I gave between 5,000 and 10,000, and second criteria 8,000 and 10,000. There can be a customer between 8,000 and 10,000. Suppose say one has 9,000. Even in the first set also it comes, second set also it comes. What does your union do? Your union displays that customer only once, but your union all displays the same customer twice. Okay, now just go for union all and just view for results. Okay, this one, Billy's on Clifton. So do you see this customer is been repeated twice, 8231 and 8231. If I give only union operator, only once it comes. So this is like it falls for both the things between 8,000 and 10,000 and between 5,000 and 10,000. That's why this record is repeated. Now in intersection, if I go for intersect, only common records from both the sets should come. Now if you give that, only one record should be there. Billy's on Clifton. Only this is the record which comes in the first set as well as which comes in the second set. And how does your minus operator work? Set operator 1 minus set 2 will give you all the records from set 1 except the matching records. So there is a one matching record. So except that all other records will come. Like 5 plus minus 1, 4 should come. Yeah, 4 will come. Because your first criteria between 5,000 and 10,000 will result you in 5 records. Whereas 8,231 is a common record from set 1 and set 2. That common record will be eliminated. That's it. Okay. So this is how your set operators can be used. So I don't care whether it is from the same subject area supplier sales, even if it is from multiple subject areas, it is quite simple. Like it displays its own records, it displays its own records. But if something is matching or if something is like union, it just based on the criteria. You can see here, union will pick up everything. Union all will pick up even the duplicates in between. Intersect, you can highlight, see that only middle is highlighted in the set operators. Minus, you can see that only left side circle will be highlighted, because one minus the second will give you only records from the first one. The middle portion is still white, it doesn't take anything from the middle, right? So this is how your set operators work. Like from schooling also we looked into set operators, right? The same set operators. Yes, this is irrespective of subject area. Why do you care about subject area? This is supplier sales. Suppose say now make one more on ABC usage tracking. Suppose say first column is a varchar. So pull out anything. So for ABC usage tracking, first column I should have two columns. That is mandatory. So first column I will take as a username. Measure I will take as a row count. This is the measure, right? Just click on results. Do I have any value? No. ABC usage tracking, what else I can do? I don't have anything in this, don't tell me that. So still, see, this is not throwing out any error, right? So this is a proper one. Okay, let us make one more analysis on ABC usage tracking. I don't know if the records have gone. Username, just no, it is there. Measures, row count, 21, 13, and 34. Okay, these are there. Okay, this one should be combined. Okay, maybe the operator I was using maybe minus, I guess. On supplier sales, customer, right? Customer. And fact sales, dollars. And for dollars, I will give you filter is between 5,000 and 10,000. Okay. Now, the second criteria will give me 5 records. First criteria will give me 3 records. So total 8 should be there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So your WebLogic, this one, your JoeScrews and this one, your RGF and this one, like this, right? Right? So even from multiple subject areas also, you can make out your thing. It depends actually, it depends on the requirement and all those stuff. Yeah, but set operators works like this. Okay, just have an idea, basic idea. But if I do intersect now, if I do intersect, will it have any record? No, nothing will be there. If I do minus, first set has 3 records, so 3 should come. Union all and union in this case will display same number of records, 8 records, because there is no matching record. Like this. Okay. So this is how your set operators work with respect to your result sets, like different criteria. Okay. Next is how to have a direct database request. This is pretty simple, very direct one. So what is a direct database request? So if you want to look into your database results from your application itself without going to SQL Developer or any other tool, if you want to fire a query and have the results, you can have it. You need not to build a physical layer, presentation, BMM layer, all those. Make out a direct query, run it, you should be able to see the results. For this, what I will do, first go to administration page, look into manage privileges. So first you should have direct database request privilege. For that, okay. So here, do you have this execute direct database analysis? Do you see this property? And this is given to BI administrator role, right? Fine. Now, how to have this new analysis create direct database request. So this is your direct database request. Now let me give no access for this role. So for BI administrator also I'm denying it. So just go for new analysis. What is this? Okay, let us see if it works. Give the connection pool name as supplier CP. Just give select star from D1 customer. Oh, this is still picking up the results. Okay, no issues. Ha. What is this? Okay, now it's coming because I previously I gave that, right? It was unable to display the results because of the access denied. So now you can see that whatever data is present under D1 customer 2, it will display all the data. Just a second. Yeah. So this is how you can look into your table data directly from the report without even having any physical model or anything. Any table from the database can be accessed. Let me fire one more query. So here what I am taking from D1 customer, I am taking name. From sales, I am taking dollars. So customer name and corresponding dollars from the tables. Where region is in east and group by, and it is having dollars is like greater than 2 million. Okay, 2 million. So just click on results. Sorry. New analysis, direct database request. An error occurred while processing D1. Okay, dollars is not there. Sorry. This is our ACTL EXTND, right? Where D1 customer, new key D1 customer, yeah. Invalid identifier again, where? Okay. Okay. Now sum of dollars, I'll just give it as revenue. Customer name as customer. So your aliases also are given. Just click on results. Your customer and revenue will be displayed. Who has more than 2 million revenue. Okay. So these customers, right? Like this. Okay. So like this, you can pick up all your data from direct query itself using direct database request. But all the things you cannot do like this. You cannot keep writing queries for complex reports, right? Basic things okay, but if it is like 1,000 line SQL, will you sit down and keep writing? Your BI server itself will take care. That's why you go for RPD. So some scenarios where you want a quicker report like from OLTP without a modeling. So you generally create a direct database request, and this report can be sent as a normal report, like a table view or a normal report to your user using agents. So for that, we generally use this. Okay. Fine. Now, so this is your direct database request. The name suggests that this is a direct database request, and how you can do, you saw that from new analysis, you will have a direct database request. Okay. As of now, this is only given to administrator. Just sign out and just sign in back as bberry, and just let me check if it is there. New analysis. So, do I have direct database request for BI author role? No. For BI author role, this direct database request is not present. Only subject areas are available. Okay, for only for BI administrator role, that extra privilege is there. Okay, like that. Now, we will see setting display of columns in criteria tab. This is very basic, not even very important topic, but just observe it, what it does. Okay. Basically, let me pull out a region, fact sales, dollars, click on results, go back to your criteria. Do you see there is one XYZ edit analysis properties? Click on this. In data, you have one thing called display of columns added in criteria tab. So if you add a particular column in criteria tab, what should happen to that column? Okay, whether it should be added or it should be added into a new view, how it is. Okay, just observe. So whenever I am adding a display of columns added in the criteria tab, it will be displayed in the existing view as well as any new view. Okay, just click OK. Just observe this property. Now I have region and dollars. What is the existing view? Table view. I don't have any other views. I have only table view. Just observe this. Now go to criteria tab again and add state. Just click on results. So is it added in the existing one? Table view? Yes. Right? Create one more view, a pivot table view. So just observe this. So even your pivot table also has state, region as well as dollars, everything. Now go back to your criteria. Change the property of your this one. Exclude from existing views but display in new views. That means any new column is added in criteria tab. I want this to be excluded from the existing view, that is table view. If it is any new view, now pivot table is also there. Pivot table also it will get excluded. If any new view is getting added, then it displays there. Okay, just observe that. Add sales district. Click on results. So did your table change? No. Did your pivot table change? No. Add one more table. So this is a new view that I am adding. So do you have it here in the new view? Table 2 is again a new view. Table 1, table, even if you add table 3, it is a new view. Just don't think that table is just one view. This is a type of view. But table 2 is a new view. Right? Table is a type of the view. Table 2 is a new view, like that. So this table 2, since we gave that property as include only in the new things, we are able to see here in the new, like that. So this is the basic terminology how your columns, addition of columns to your criteria tab also can be set like this. Okay, what is that? Someone asked me some question. Pivot table will be treated anything, pivot table or any other table. Before adding the table only, I had pivot table, right? So that will be treated as an existing view. That's why it didn't come as a dollar. Now add one more pivot table view. So it will be there at the end, bottom. Now that should have your district. So this is your pivot table 2. On the top, do you see this? Pivot table 2. This has your district value. Like that. So your pivot table 2 is again a brand new view. Anything which is existing will be considered as a old view. Like that. Okay. Just a basic property, like just how to set up this here, just like interactions data. So when you give this exclude, display the existing views also, it displays. Okay. Like it. Okay, but generally we don't change all these properties. Generally you don't change these properties, interactions. You don't even care about this. So just a basic idea what are all these properties does. A basic idea, that's it. Okay. Fine. Okay. Now we saw this concept also. Now just look at into one more different concept. Okay. So we will see how to create a dashboard and add some content to your dashboard page, and how to look into our dashboard, how to add an embedded content into our dashboard. Okay. So generally what a dashboard is nothing but collection of reports or sections or columns. Like if you want to place various reports under one category, you can rename with the particular dashboard, and you can do that. For every user, my dashboard is the common one. Every user will have their own corresponding dashboard. So even for me, I have my own dashboard, and you will have shared dashboards under shared folders. Here we have under WebLogic folder, I have a different dashboard. SampleNet, I have a different dashboard. Under component, I have a different dashboard. So under dashboards tab, when you click, you have different dashboards. How to create a dashboard? This is also pretty simple. Like same, the way you create analysis, your dashboard is also created. When you create a dashboard, this will ask you for an option whether to save under my folders or shared folders. If you save it under my folders, this cannot be viewed by any other user. Okay. So let me create a dashboard. Give the name of the dashboard as sales dashboard. Give anything. This is accordingly, generally you don't keep creating dashboards. You may at least keep creating a new analysis. But dashboard is how, if the customer or client wants, then only you go ahead and create it. Okay. Give the description of the dashboard, it's up to you. Even if you not give, that is okay. This dashboard provides sales data of ABC Corporation. You can give anything. And location of your dashboard, shared folders, components, this is going to shared folders. If you want it under shared folders, well and good. But if you don't want it under shared folders, okay. So where do you want, where you want it to be shared? Is it under shared or my dashboard? My dashboard is only viewed by WebLogic. Shared folder, you can keep it under different folders, under WebLogic, or is it under SampleNet, or how it is. It is up to you. If you are creating it in a shared folder, you should have a shared analysis. That means even your reports or analysis also should be present under shared folders, right? Because if you are creating a dashboard in shared folders and pulling out a report from my folder, it won't agree like that. Okay, just look like that. It won't happen like that. Okay. So WebLogic dashboard, if you create, so okay, let me create it under shared folders itself. Click on OK. So you can only pick content from shared folders. This will not even give you option to select a content from my folder like this. Okay. For this, I don't have many contents here, right? So let me customize my own thing. I want to create dashboard for myself. So go to catalog back, go to your shared folders, Go to your WebLogic, expand this, expand your dashboards. Your sales dashboard is there. Delete this. I don't want this here. Okay. Create a new dashboard again as sales dashboard itself. Under my folders, you can just keep it under my folders also, no issues. Okay. See here, under my folders I can have only one dashboard, my dashboard. That's why it is not allowing me. Dashboards. Go to catalog. You can only have my dashboard, one dashboard. You can have any number of pages to it, but you cannot keep adding number of dashboards to your thing. You can have only one customized my dashboard for your folders. Okay. So what we will do, we'll copy some content. What I'll do, I'll copy the entire folder my sales into this one, copy and paste it here. So my sales has come. All the things are present here now. Okay. Later I'll delete it. No issues. Create a dashboard. Create a sales dashboard. This can be created under my sales dashboards or sample light dashboards or WebLogic dashboards. Each and every shared folder will have their own dashboards folder. You can create a number of times. So under which folder you want, it is up to you. Let me create under my sales folder itself. There are two options. Do you want to add the content now or add the content later? I'll add content now and provide the description for your dashboard. This dashboard contains sales data of ABC Corporation. Click OK. So as soon as I add a content, I want to add a content here. So there is something called drop content here. Under shared folders, from my sales, you can drag and drop all the analysis that you created to this. You need not to even pull column section or anything. This is a brand new dashboard. So just open this dashboard under my sales, go to sales dashboard. Do you have anything here under sales dashboard? Nothing is there. So click on edit. This will take you to this window. Edit will take you to this window for the first time. From the second time you have to click on the edit dashboard. For the first time, now what I will do, my page name is page 1. So what I can do, you can rename this page. How to do that? So for the first time you have to rename your page. Dashboard properties, select page 1. You have a rename option here. Click on rename. I'll give West Sales. Click OK. Click OK. So from my sales folder, pull out customer West region. Just see what I am doing. Just drag and drop it here. Just drag and drop. So what are the objects that have come up? Column. So column is the basic thing in your dashboard. Section also has come up. Column can contain multiple sections. One section can contain multiple reports under it. Okay. This is not a great thing. Just drag and drop this. This will keep working. Customer West region is there now. For with respect to West region, you can pull out some more if they are present. Okay. I want customer West region 99. You pulled out. So pull out anything else, like pull out what you want. Okay, you have West region sales with graph. So pull out this also. So if you want it under a new section, you can create. You can just drag and drop this, or if you want in the same section also, just place it here. In the same section also it is there, and just see it is a column and will have some column properties. And for section, see now the how the reports will be displayed is like vertically. Suppose if you want them horizontal, just click on horizontal like this. Save this, save here, click on run. So this comes side by side. These are horizontal. So just activate Adobe Flash, allow now. So this is a single section. Okay. So that's the reason you are able to see like this. Now from the second time, if I want a second page, edit dashboard, I can have n number of pages. So there is an add page option. Add page east. I have west sales, take east sales also. Okay. How to do that again? Go here, go to your sales folder, pick up east region, drag and drop this here, just click on save, click on run. And in the first page you have west region sales, second page you have east region sales. You can have n number of values like this. Okay. Again, if you want to edit this page, edit dashboard, you can edit, you can add anything to your first page or second page or anything. Again, in this one also you have. Again, go to my sales. Customers east region only added the same thing, right? I have it twice. Customers east region 1999, customers east region 1999. I have twice. Okay, no issues. Take formatted sales by state. Okay, delete this, save this, and see the it is still present vertically. So just click on run. So east region will come. Below that your formatted sales by state will come like this if it is vertical. If you want it horizontal, so unselect the vertical one. It by default it takes you to horizontal one. Save this and run this. This comes side by side. Now everything is present in the same section. That's why you are able to see this hide button. Just I don't want to collapse like this. So what I can do for section properties, collapsible is checked. I don't want to collapse it, and I want the second one in a different section. How to do that? Drag and drop a section here, and if you want to have side by side, it should be present in one section itself. So see, section you can only drag up or down. So if you do like this, this comes as a different section. See, you can again see a hideout button. This comes as a different section altogether. If I want side by side, place them on a single section and make them side by side. Remove your section 2 and give, you can even heading, highlight your heading, show section header. Save this and run this. One thing, edit dashboard, and I want to show section title also. Section properties, show section title. Save this and run this. So do we have section 1 here? So this clearly tells these reports are from your section 1, right? So this is how you can place content. So west sales also you have one section and you have your 2 reports. One is customer west region, one more is west region sales, right? I don't have any options here like edit, drop down or anything. How to get them? Edit dashboard. For this report I want some links, report links. I want to give edit, customize this, edit property, export property, click OK. And for this also I want to give edit property, export property and refresh. Click OK, save this and run this. So below the graph you see this edit and export. Export, it will give you whether you want to export it to an Excel or anything. Suppose if you give PDF, This will get exported to your PDF. Now just let me show you. Save the file, click OK. So the file got saved. Go to the folder that it got saved. So what is this? Customer Vestigian 1999.pdf. This should be opened using your Adobe Reader. Click OK. Just observe how it is present. So like this it comes. Customer Vestigian 1999. Year, region, customer and dollars. Okay. So however it is present in your dashboard, everything comes up like that. So even if you expand this, you have Waflers at the end. So here also you have Waflers at the end. All the records will get exported, right? You can even export to Excel sheet, or you can export to a PowerPoint slide, or data to an CSV format, or to normal delimited text file, anything like this. Okay. So this is how you create a dashboard. Now sign out of this. I created this under shared folders. Just log in with bberry. He is a BI consumer user who can look into content of a shared folder. Just observe whether this user can see this. Go to dashboards. Do you have my sales dashboard? Since I place this under shared folders, even this guy can look it, and even this guy has access to both the pages that I have created, like this. Okay. Now there is one more additional functionality. Suppose I have like this. I have a site like this, w3schools.com, and I have this page, learn CSS how to, or suppose a SQL you have, and you want to look at one SQL merge function, suppose say. So you can navigate to this. Anything, where is that? Leave it. Go for SQL between function. You want this link to be present in your OBIE. So how to do this? How to go for embedded content? You have your dashboard, right? My sales dashboard, sales dashboard. Here add one more page, or in the same page also you can add, but to make it more better, I'll add one more dashboard page as embedded page. Click OK. So here, do you see something called embedded content? Just drag and drop this here, embedded content. Click on edit. Here you can give the URL of your link. This URL embeds an application. You can look at anything. Hide your scroll bars. I don't want to show your scroll bars. Click OK. Click on save and just click on run. You have like this. Okay, but I want my scroll bars also. Edit dashboard. Okay, and increase this size 1000, and give it as height as 500. Just click OK, save and run. So you see like this. So SQL between operator you saw there, right? So your between operator you can refer like this, between operator example, between operators. So like this. So if you want to embed in a PDF, anything, how the only simple thing is give the link of that. So server / your file name. If you give that, even your file also can be embedded, any file. Okay. So this is up to you how you can use it. Okay. There is one more thing, link or image also. This is one more additional functionality, like you can give either URL or analysis or dashboard. Suppose say from this page I want to go to one more dashboard, I can go this. From embedded page, if I want to go back to e-sales, you can do this. You can have a caption like return to East sales. If I want to return to East sales, back again, analysis or dashboard, and browse your location. Where is that? Under shared folders, my sales, under dashboards, sorry, not under dashboards. Yeah, under dashboard, sales dashboard, you have East sales page. Click OK. So automatically this comes. If you want any image, you can even select it and I don't want to give any image as of now. Just click OK. Just click on save and run. So I am in embedded page. Just observe what I will do. I have written to eSales link here. You just click on this. You go back to your eSales like this. You are going back using your link like that. Using options in the dashboard, you can have your multiple this alert section. If you want any agent, if you want to look action links, like if you want to go for any link from this page to any other report or something, so you can have that. Okay. So link text, caption and action. Open whether you want to open a new window or how it is. Okay, you can give like this. N number of analysis, not only one link. In the same thing, you can have different types of actions selected. Anything like this. Don't worry about this. So navigate to BI content or a web page or a Java method or HTTP request and all this. So it is up to you how to use them. Different links. Okay, text, or if it is normal text, or if you want to embed any JavaScript or anything, you can pull out your text, make the script as JavaScript, and you can even write your JavaScript also here. Edit this, write your HTML. If you want to have any HTML markup, you can have it, or if you want to have anything else, you can have it. It's up to you. Generally, these are very additional extra properties. You generally don't use them, but just for a basic idea. Okay, so this is far more than enough for you. How to create a dashboard, create pages, add content to this. All these are more than enough at this point of time. Later when you start working, you can explore all the properties. Okay, now if you just don't get confused, so this is how you create a dashboard and dashboard page and all this stuff. Fine. So I think today is fine. I think I gave more today for you. So till 13th I am done. Okay, so tomorrow we will see how to work with configuring intelligence dashboards. I showed this also. Yeah, so creating dashboards, prompts and variables. This is one more important session. So I told you presentation variables, how they work and all, right? So I will show you how this work tomorrow. Okay, thank you. So any questions?